Tonight, Girl State learns about politics in the media.
Plus, Troy plays host to the statewide 4-H Roundup. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello, and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for June 14th, 2012. I'm Brittany Drawdy.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thank you for joining us this evening. Learning the political system is one of the main focuses of Girl State. Today, the delegates learned another important aspect of being in the public eye. Jeffrey Lewis has the details.
Thursday morning, the Girl State delegates continued their leadership training by attending a seminar on politics in the media. The panel consisted of 3 people who have experience working in and with the media. The girls received an opportunity to learn a few lessons from professionals.
This is, it's a highlight of my week. I always look forward to doing this panel because it's an opportunity to talk with these young would-be politicians, and some of them probably will be elected office at some point, about how they can use the media and how they can use the media to further their own goals and their own agenda.
One of the main points of this seminar was media etiquette. The panel stressed that it was important to communicate information clearly and accurately.
Girl State delegates who may not go into office themselves, these young women are going to be leaders in their communities. They may be the president of a nonprofit or head of the PTA. They're going to be involved in community events that are going to be seeking publicity, and they're going to find themselves in spokesperson roles regardless, but just because of their leadership potential.
Over the past week, the Girl State delegates learned about politics. They even campaigned for offices they held during the week. The members of the panel want the girls to take the lessons they learned while participating in the process with them in the future.
I think it's important for them because they are the future leaders. I mean, they had to demonstrate some leadership characteristics or some skill set to be selected to go to Girl State. So there's no doubt in my mind that there are some future state lawmakers, city office holders, county office holders, and it's important that they begin to know very, very early on the importance of the media in getting their message out and advancing the platforms that they want to embrace, and also possibly in terms of getting elected to the future offices that they'll hold.
Jeffrey Lewis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Girl State will continue this evening with the inauguration ceremony for officers.
Professional young women still have time for fun and games as the delegates of Girl State took part in Skit Night. Girl State takes a breath of fresh air as they put their mandatory rules aside and got to liven up with Skit Night.
Well, all week long, they are giving speeches, they're listening to talks, they're debating in the House and Senate, they're having party caucuses, and they're listening to each other's speeches as they run for office. And it's very stressful, especially giving speeches. It's intense, and tonight was a cut-loose night, and they had fun, and they relaxed and let off steam.
After a long, quite serious week, each city had 5 minutes and free reign to come up with a comedy skit to wow the judges and their fellow delegates.
I had a blast. I thought it greatly exceeded my expectations. I think that it's wonderful that we have a skit night, something to let loose and have a good time, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be here and to experience this.
Performing wasn't the only way to let off steam. Being able to relax and enjoy the show was an added bonus after going every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
We just pretty much give them free rein and just say keep it to 5 minutes, and whatever they want to do is fine. Most of the time they'll do something about the week that's really funny, and they'll impersonate counselors, and that's cute too, but sometimes they'll just do something funny, always having to do with maybe a TV show or something in entertainment that they're especially keyed into right now, so it can be just whatever.
After a night filled with dancing, singing, and a lot of laughter, only one city could be the winner, but each girl celebrated the gift of 300 new friends. Brittany Drawdy, Troy, TrojanVision News. Girl State will conclude tomorrow afternoon. Well, Judson, those aren't the only young people on Troy's campus this week.
That's right, Brittany. Students involved in the 4-H program also visited Troy's campus. Bailey Majors shows us more.
The Positive Youth Development Organization 4-H kicked off their annual Southeast Regional Roundup, a two-day event hosted by Troy University for kids and students ages 9 to 19 to participate in competitive events.
Well, Roundup is based on our county events. We invite the kids, if they place first or second place, they come to Troy to our regional Roundup to have regional competitions.
We have approximately 20 counties represented here, all the way from Baldwin and Escambia, all the way up to Chambers and Tallapoosa.
This is a competition that involves 177 youth competitors, and they're participating in at least 22 different categories.
Some of the events included in the roundup are
Bicycle rodeo, where it's all about bicycle safety. There's chicken queue, where they barbecue chicken, they bring their own grill. Freestyle demonstrations, where they can do anything.
I'm in freestyle showcase. I decided to see what car manufacturers and scientists are doing to reduce collisions.
Photography and a baked goods category are also included in the events, as well as a quilting contest.
You got to make a quilt no bigger than 3 feet by 3 feet, and you got to make it yourself.
Some of the participants have been competing for several years, while others have entered for the first time. But why should students get involved with 4-H?
Because it's fun.
Well, 4-H is all about positive youth development. It's a great avenue for kids to learn a life skill.
You get to meet a lot of people, and you can learn a lot.
And instill a lot of leadership and achievement with our youth.
I think it helps them grow, too, because they learn from everything. They can learn from being just a shy little child to where they'll speak out to somebody.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
4-H Roundup continues tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
And now, taking a look at news from around the state. In Opelika, a 22-year-old man accused in 3 slayings near Auburn University last weekend is facing 3 counts of capital murder and 2 assault charges. Desmonte Leonard appeared in a Lee County courtroom in Opelika this morning. 3 Montgomery attorneys have been appointed to represent him.
In Childersburg, 4 young people have been wounded in a shooting. Police say the gunfire happened early this morning at the Sadie Lee Homes Housing Authority off Highway 280.
And at Gulf Shores, Baldwin County authorities say a Georgia woman drowned after being caught in a rip current while swimming with her family in Gulf of Mexico surf. 41-year-old Angie Laney of Carrollton, Georgia, drowned Monday afternoon.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, find out about an Alabama native that makes history. Deatra Montgomery will have more when she joins us with sports.
But first, Jerry Sandusky's case could be wrapping up very soon. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stand.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Over the course of time, Troy has consistently turned out quality graduates.
We're trying to develop future leaders.
If it had not been for Troy University, I would have never had the honor of being the Alabama Teacher of the Year.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. And we do that within the framework of one real university.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Brittany Drawdy at the Global News Desk. Brittany.
The prosecution could wrap up its case by tomorrow in the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse trial. One accuser after another has given graphic, disturbing testimony, while the former Penn State assistant coach listens with little emotion. Manuel Gallegos reports from the courthouse in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
Jerry Sandusky headed back into court to face yet another accuser.
Good morning, Jerry. How are you doing? How are you holding up so far?
Well, I'm here. A soft-spoken 25-year-old man known as victim number 6 took the stand. He says he met Sandusky in 1998 when he was 11 at a charity picnic. He claims the former assistant football coach then invited him to work out at Penn State and later coaxed him into the shower. The accuser says Sandusky lifted him in the shower to get the soap off his face, and then he said, "That's the last thing I remember. It's kind of black after that." The man testified they were both naked, but he did not remember Sandusky ever touching his private parts. When the boy came home with wet hair, his mother went to the police, but no charges were filed at that time against Sandusky. During cross-examination, the witness acknowledged staying friends with Sandusky and his wife Dottie until just last year, going to their home on football days, borrowing their car, even going on a fishing trip to Mexico with Sandusky when he was 23 years old. The man testified that his perception of Sandusky changed as investigators began questioning him, and he thought more about how inappropriate it was to shower with Sandusky as a boy. Sandusky is charged with 52 criminal counts of sexually abusing boys. The defense is looking for inconsistencies in the witness testimony and suggesting they are out to make money. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
Egypt's highest court says the country's election about 6 months ago was unconstitutional. It has ordered the Islam-dominated parliament be dissolved, which brought protesters back to the streets. Monica Villamizar reports from London.
Angry protesters say a ruling from the Egyptian Supreme Court has destroyed any hope of a democratic Egypt. This man says, "We had a revolution, and no revolution in the world brings back a tyrannical regime." The country's highest court dissolved parliament and ruled Ahmed Shafik, the last prime minister to serve under President Hosni Mubarak, can't stay in the race. The decision is a blow to the Muslim Brotherhood, which had won nearly half the seats in parliament. Supporters of Shafik cheered as the former Mubarak aide vowed to bring unity and stability to the country if he beats his rival Mohamed Morsi. But demonstrators say Shafik represents the old regime and is part of a military plot to retake power. This man says he's telling everyone he knows to refuse to vote in the runoff election this weekend. Many Egyptians have embraced Shafik as an alternative to a candidate from the Muslim Brotherhood. But protesters demanding democracy headed back to Tahrir Square, where the Egyptian revolution began. Critics are calling the court's decision a coup to keep the military in power. Monica Villamizar, CBS News.